it's pretty amazing when you think about how a simple, everyday object, like a razor, can tell a huge story. Not just about shaving, but about culture, big business, and yeah, even breaking down some seriously old stereotypes. Today, we're going to dive into the incredible story of how Gillette pulled off something truly special in India.
So where does this story begin? Well, it's not in some fancy corporate boardroom. Nope. It starts in a small Indian village called Banwari Tola with two absolutely remarkable young women who would soon become known as the barbershop girls.
At the very heart of this whole thing is this powerful line, something a father told his son. The razor does not know whether its handler is a man or a woman. Just that one sentence, it challenges an entire cultural way of thinking, and it's really the key to understanding everything that comes next.
Okay, so meet Neha and Jyoti. When their father, who was the village barber, was paralyzed, they were faced with a super tough choice. To keep their family going, they decided to take over his barber shop. But here's the thing. In their world, barbering was strictly a man's job. So what did they do? They actually disguised themselves as boys, just so customers would let them cut their hair. Can you even imagine that? But with their dad's encouragement, they eventually revealed who they really were. And what happened was amazing. The men of the village accepted them. They shattered this deep-seated stereotype and became this incredible example for their whole community. Now, here's where things get really interesting. How does a global giant like Gillette get involved in a story like this? Because this isn't just a feel-good tale. It's a masterclass in how a massive corporation figures out a really complex market. So to get it, we need to zoom out a bit and look at the company's playbook for India. First, let's just wrap our heads around the sheer scale we're talking about. Gillette is owned by Procter & Gamble, P&G. This is a massive American company that's been around since 1837. We're talking over $76 billion in sales back in 2021. They're a true giant. And when they bought Gillette in 2005, it was for a staggering 57 times billion dollars. Okay, so if you look at this chart of P&G's global sales, you'll see that the whole region that includes India, the Middle East, and Africa makes up about 6% of their total sales. Now, that might sound pretty small compared to, say, North America at 47%, but don't let that fool you. This is a hugely important market, and it's incredibly diverse. To win here, you need a very, very specific strategy.
And Gillette is smart. They don't use a one-size-fits-all approach. For India, they came up with this brilliant three-tiered strategy, creating different razors for totally different parts of the market. Let's break down how they did it. This chart just lays it out perfectly. On one end of the spectrum, you've got the premium Fusion Pro Glide. That's all about aspiration, the best possible shave. But then, on the other end, you have the Gillette Guard, which was literally designed from scratch for India. It's super affordable, it's safe, it's easy to use, it's perfect for guys who might not even shave every single day. It's just this masterful balancing act that lets them capture pretty much the entire market.
All right, so with that whole corporate strategy in mind, let's zoom back in. How in the world did Gillette connect its really smart market strategy to this powerful, superhuman story of Neha and Jyoti? This, right here, is where it all comes together. The game plan was pretty clear. I mean, think about it. In India, a barbershop is way more than just a place to get a haircut. It's a cultural hub, a place where men gather. You've got over 500 million Indian men visiting a barber almost once a month. Gillette saw this massive opportunity to connect with them on a much deeper level, to send a message that was about more than just selling razors. So the ad film they created is beautiful. It's so simple, but wow, is it effective. It's all told through the eyes of a little boy who sees the world in these really rigid gender roles. Then he goes to the barbershop with his dad, and he's totally confused because he sees Neha and Jyoti working there. And it's his father's simple explanation that the razor doesn't care who holds it that brings a smile to his face and just perfectly delivers the campaign's core message. But here's the best part. Gillette didn't just make an ad and call it a day. No way. They really walked the talk. They gave Neha and Jyoti scholarships, they set them up to train with celebrity stylists, and they even had them shave famous Bollywood actors and cricket legends. We're talking the one and only Sachin Tendulkar. On top of all that, they launched this bigger program in colleges to help students with personal grooming and career skills. So, the big question is, did this whole heartfelt, purpose-driven campaign actually work? Well, let's just say the results were pretty mind-blowing. The video absolutely blew up. We're talking 16 million views on YouTube by the middle of 2022. That is some serious organic reach. And people weren't just passively watching. The engagement was through the roof. The video got over 100,000 likes on Facebook with just overwhelmingly positive comments. And it wasn't just a hit with the public. It got major critical acclaim, too. The campaign won the prestigious Laudley Media and Advertising Award, which is a big deal because it specifically recognizes work that promotes gender sensitivity. Now, to put this success in context, it's important to see the investment behind it all. In 2021 alone, Gillette India spent 236 crores. That's about 28.7 million US dollars on advertising. This campaign was a huge part of that spending, and it's pretty clear that their investment paid off big time, both in social impact and for the brand itself.
Okay, so after a massive, viral, award-winning hit like this, you'd think everything's perfect, right? Well, this huge success actually created a brand new and very complex challenge for Gillette. I mean, let's be clear, there's no doubt the campaign was a home run. It challenged these long-standing cultural norms, it built a real, powerful emotional connection with people, and it totally redefined the brand's tagline, the best a man can get, for a whole new generation. And this all brings us to this one final, really thought-provoking question. After you've had a campaign that was so successful it actually changed the conversation and won everyone over, what on earth do you do for an encore? Do you double down on more purpose-driven ads, or do you pivot back to something else? That, right there, is the billion-dollar question for Gillette.